Let me tell you something. We are standing at the edge of a new era, an era that will redefine what it means to be human, what it means to work, to create, to connect. It's not coming tomorrow. It's not some distant dream. The robotics revolution is here, and it's happening faster than you think. For years, people feared that robots would take over, that machines would replace us. But the truth, robots aren't replacing humanity. They're revealing our potential. They're forcing us to evolve, to rise higher, to think deeper, to innovate faster. The robotics revolution isn't about metal and circuits. It's about you. It's about unlocking human power at a level we've never seen before. Think about it. Every great leap in human history came from technology, from the wheel to electricity to the internet. Each time the world panicked. People said, this will destroy us. And every time we came out stronger, smarter, more capable. Why? Because the essence of humanity is not in what we build, but in how we adapt. And that's the secret right there. The robotics revolution is not about technology. It's about transformation. You can fight it or you can flow with it. You can be afraid of losing your job or you can decide to lead the change. You can stand by and watch machines rewrite the rules, or you can grab the pen and write your own chapter. Automation isn't the end of human work. It's the beginning of human mastery. Robots can process data, but they can't dream. They can calculate, but they can't feel passion. They can analyze, but they can't imagine. The future doesn't belong to the machines. It belongs to the minds that use them with purpose. This is your wake-up call. The robotics revolution is not waiting for permission. It's moving at lightning speed. And you have two choices: stand still or evolve. Learn the tools, understand the systems, master the language of technology. Because when you do, you won't just survive this revolution, you'll thrive in it. Imagine what's possible when robotics merge with human creativity. Artificial intelligence designing cities that heal the environment. Robotic limbs restoring movement to the paralyzed. Machines building homes, growing food, curing disease. While humans design, lead, and innovate like never before. We are not losing control. We are gaining power. We are entering a world where our imagination is the only limit. A world where collaboration between humans and robots will multiply our strength. But make no mistake, this revolution demands something from you. It demands curiosity. It demands courage. It demands that you let go of old beliefs and embrace a new mindset, a mindset of growth, adaptability, and relentless learning. Don't wait until the wave hits you. Become the one who rides it. Learn, build, innovate. Be the leader who guides others through this transformation. Because this revolution isn't coming to destroy your life, it's coming to expand it. So I challenge you right now, stop fearing the future. Start shaping it. The robotics revolution is not the rise of machines. It's the rise of human potential. And the question isn't whether it will change the world. The question is, will you change with it? Because the future is not something we enter. It's something we create. And the robotics revolution has just begun. The robotics revolution is not about machines. It's about human transformation. That is a statement that most people misunderstand because when they hear the word robotics, they immediately think about metal circuits, artificial intelligence, and automation. They imagine factories filled with machines replacing human workers. They picture computers taking over every task that once required a person, and they feel a sense of fear, a sense of uncertainty, and sometimes even despair. But that is only half the story. The robotics revolution is not fundamentally about the machines themselves. It's about what these machines reveal about humanity, about our potential, about our ability to grow, adapt, and evolve into versions of ourselves that we have never seen before. It's about transformation, not substitution. When you begin to see robotics in this way, when you begin to look at this revolution through the lens of opportunity rather than threat, you begin to see a world of possibilities that most people completely miss. Most people focus on what they will lose. They worry about their jobs, their security, their comfort zones. And while those concerns are real, they are only temporary. The true value of this revolution lies not in what machines can do, but in what humans can become when we partner with machines. Human transformation is not a new concept. Throughout history, whenever humanity has faced a technological leap, there has always been fear. People feared the printing press, fearing that literacy would disrupt society. People feared the steam engine, fearing that laborers would lose control of their livelihoods. People feared computers and the internet, believing that the human mind would be rendered obsolete. And yet, every single time, those who embraced the change, who used technology as a tool for growth and mastery, elevated themselves to levels of power, influence, and capability that they never imagined. The robotics revolution is the next stage in this ongoing journey, the next opportunity for human evolution. But here's the secret that most people don't see. It is not the robots that transform the world. It is the humans who learn to collaborate with them. to leverage them, to let them free up energy, creativity, and focus so that humans can do what humans do best. Machines can calculate, they can organize, they can perform repetitive tasks with precision, but they cannot dream. They cannot imagine. They cannot feel passion. They cannot innovate from a place of love, curiosity, or intuition. Humans, on the other hand, can, and the robotics revolution exists to amplify that unique human ability. This revolution challenges the traditional definition of work. Work is no longer about showing up and performing repetitive tasks. Work is no longer about surviving in a system that rewards mere consistency. Work is about growth, creativity, and mastery. Robotics will handle the mundane. Robots will process the endless streams of data, the tedious calculations, the tasks that drain energy and focus. And when those tasks are removed from the human equation, what remains is the essence of what makes us powerful. Humans are left with vision, strategy, empathy, leadership, creativity, and innovation. Humans are left with the ability to design, inspire, and elevate. And this is the transformation. The robotics revolution forces us to evolve, not because we have no choice, but because when we see what machines can do, we see what humans must do to rise above the ordinary and enter the extraordinary. Consider this: a robot can assemble a car with perfect precision, but it cannot dream of creating a car that changes the way humans move across cities. A robot can diagnose a disease with 99% accuracy, but it cannot envision a world where healthcare is accessible to every human being, where prevention and wellness become the foundation of life. A robot can calculate financial risk faster than any human could, but it cannot imagine a system where wealth empowers communities, creativity, and growth rather than simply accumulating in the hands of a few. This is the difference between function and transformation. Robotics handles function. Humans create transformation. The revolution is not about the machines taking over. It is about humans stepping up. It is about humans realizing that the tools we now have are not threats. They are accelerators. They are catalysts for personal and societal growth. And those who see this clearly, who understand this deeply, are the ones who will lead the next century. To embrace human transformation through robotics, you have to first shift your mindset. Most people are looking at robots as competition, but that's the wrong perspective. The question is not what the robots will take from you. The question is what you will take from this opportunity. How will you evolve? How will you redefine your skills, your purpose, and your contribution? Transformation begins with awareness, and awareness begins with seeing the bigger picture. The robotics revolution is not a threat to your humanity. It is a call to your highest potential. It is an invitation to break free from limitations, from fear, from the old ways of thinking that say, I must do everything myself, or I am defined by my current role or job. Robots are here to take away what is repetitive, what is draining, what is mechanical, so that you can focus on the uniquely human abilities that cannot be replicated by any machine. Creativity, intuition, empathy, vision, passion, leadership, innovation. These are the currencies of the future, and the robots are here to amplify them, not replace them. Human transformation also requires action. Awareness alone is not enough. Understanding the opportunity of robotics is just the first step. Transformation demands that you engage, that you learn, that you adapt, that you step into the unknown with curiosity and courage. The robotics revolution is not a spectator sport. You cannot sit on the sidelines and hope that your human potential will survive unchanged. You must invest in yourself, in your skills, in your understanding of how technology can elevate your life and your work. You must train your mind to think strategically about how humans and machines can collaborate to achieve results that were once unimaginable. You must embrace a growth mindset, a mindset that says, I am not limited by what I currently know. I am empowered by what I can learn. And when you do, when you embrace this revolution with courage, vision, and commitment, transformation happens. You realize that your purpose is no longer constrained by what you can do alone. You realize that your impact is multiplied by your ability to integrate technology into your vision. You realize that the world is no longer just a place to survive. It is a place to innovate, inspire, and leave a legacy that transcends generations. The robotics revolution is not a threat to your identity. It is an amplifier of it. It challenges you to become bigger, bolder, and more human than you ever thought possible. Every major transformation in history has required a leap of faith. The leap into literacy, the leap into industry, the leap into digital communication. Every leap required people to look beyond fear, to see opportunity, to commit to growth, and to embrace transformation. The robotics revolution is no different. The machines will do what machines do best, and humans will do what humans do best. And the ones who succeed are those who understand that this is not about competing with robots. This is about evolving into the highest expression of yourself. You must ask yourself, am I going to resist? Or am I going to transform? Am I going to cling to old definitions of work and value? Or am I going to embrace a future where my human potential is expanded, multiplied, and amplified? Transformation is not optional. It is inevitable. But how deeply you evolve, how much power you claim, and how much impact you have depends entirely on your willingness to see robotics not as a threat, but as a mirror showing you who you can become. Adaptation, not resistance, determines who thrives in the new era. That's the truth that separates the ones who rise from the ones who fall when the world changes. Every revolution, every transformation, every leap forward in human progress has always demanded one thing above all else: the ability to adapt, not just physically, not just in skills, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. The robotics revolution, the age of automation and artificial intelligence, is not destroying opportunity, it is reshaping it, and the people who will thrive are not necessarily the smartest, the strongest, or the most experienced. They are the ones who learn to pivot, to evolve, to move with the current of change instead of fighting against it. Resistance is the instinct of fear. It's the voice inside that says, this is too different, too fast, too much. It's the impulse to hold on to the old ways because they feel safe, predictable, familiar. But life has never rewarded resistance. The world doesn't wait for anyone to catch up. It keeps moving, evolving, expanding. And if you try to hold it still, you get left behind. Adaptation, on the other hand, is the power that keeps you alive, relevant, and unstoppable. When you adapt, you are not surrendering. You are taking control. You are learning the language of change and using it to your advantage. You are becoming flexible, fluid, dynamic, like water that flows around obstacles and never loses its strength. The people who resist are always asking, what will happen to me? The people who adapt are asking, what can I make happen? That question alone changes everything. It shifts your focus from fear to action, from survival to creation. Adaptation is about finding opportunity in the storm. It's about realizing that the discomfort you feel when things change is not punishment, it's potential, it's growth in disguise. The faster the world evolves, the more valuable adaptability becomes. Skills become outdated, industries transform overnight, and entire ways of living can change in the blink of an eye. But adaptability, the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn, never loses value. It's the skill that transcends every other skill. The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle is not intelligence, it's not resources, it's adaptability. You can take two people with the same background, the same training, the same opportunities, and put them in front of a changing world. One resists, one adapts. A few years later, one feels lost, bitter, and left behind, while the other is thriving, evolving, leading. The world didn't choose who succeeded. Adaptability did. The one who was willing to learn to take risks, to let go of what was no longer working, became unstoppable. That's the truth of this era. The robotics revolution isn't about who has the best technology. It's about who can adapt to it the fastest, who can integrate it into their vision, who can use it as fuel for growth instead of seeing it as competition. Adaptation is not about changing who you are. It's about expanding who you are. It's about taking your core strengths, creativity, intuition, emotional intelligence, vision, and finding new ways to express them in a rapidly changing world. The old model of success said, learn a skill, master it, and do it for life. The new model says, learn fast, stay curious, and keep evolving. The person who adapts doesn't cling to one identity. They reinvent themselves over and over, not because they're lost, but because they understand that growth demands reinvention. They understand that every time they evolve, they unlock a new level of potential that was waiting within them all along. Resistance, on the other hand, creates pain. It's like trying to swim against a current that's stronger than you. You waste your energy fighting what's inevitable instead of using that energy to move forward. People resist because they fear losing control. But the truth is, control doesn't come from fighting change. It comes from mastering it. When you adapt, you don't lose control, you gain influence. You become the person who can navigate uncertainty, who can move through chaos with confidence. And in a world that's changing faster than ever before, that's the ultimate power. Adaptation requires humility. It means admitting that you don't know everything, that your way might not be the only way, that the skills that got you here might not get you there. It requires curiosity, the willingness to learn from people younger than you, from technologies newer than you, from experiences you've never had before. It requires courage, the courage to step into the unknown, to risk failure, to experiment, to explore. Adaptation isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to ask better questions. Every great innovator, every visionary leader, every trailblazer who changed the world did it through adaptation. They saw what others were afraid to see. They embraced what others rejected. They were not controlled by fear. They were fueled by it. When others saw uncertainty, they saw possibility. When others saw risk, they saw growth. And because they adapted faster, they won bigger. The robotics revolution is creating the same opportunity right now. The world is being rewritten. Industries, economies, education, communication, everything. And the ones who will win are not those who wait for the dust to settle. They are the ones who learn to see clearly in the storm. The most powerful thing about adaptation is that it turns change into an ally. It transforms what once felt threatening into something exciting. It's the shift from, why is this happening to me? To how can this serve me? That mindset alone can change your life. When you stop fighting reality and start using it, everything opens up. You start to see patterns, opportunities, and pathways that were invisible before. You realize that every disruption is an invitation to grow, to expand, to elevate your thinking. The world rewards those who move with it, not against it. Look at nature. Everything that survives adapts. The strongest tree bends with the wind. The most resilient species evolve to fit their environment. The same principle applies to your life, your business, your relationships, your future. The world doesn't slow down for anyone. You either evolve or dissolve. You either expand your capacity to change or you get left behind by those who do. The good news is adaptability can be built. It's a muscle. The more you stretch it, the stronger it gets. Every time you face something new and uncertain and choose to learn instead of resist, you're building your adaptability muscle. You're training yourself to thrive in any condition. The people who thrive in the new era are not the ones with the most comfort. They are the ones with the most capability. Comfort creates complacency. Complacency kills growth. Adaptation is uncomfortable, but that discomfort is the birthplace of power. When you adapt, you're not just reacting to change. You're shaping it. You're not waiting for opportunities to come to you. You're creating them. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't need stability to succeed because you know how to build stability wherever you go. That's what it means to truly thrive in a changing world. Adaptation is the foundation of resilience. It's the mindset that says, no matter what happens, I will find a way. It's the belief that even when everything changes around you, your ability to grow will always give you an advantage. It's the realization that the new era doesn't belong to those who cling to the past. It belongs to those who embrace the future with open arms. And when you master the art of adaptation, you stop fearing change because you know you can handle whatever comes next. You stop waiting for the world to be stable because you've learned how to be unshackable in motion. Adaptation is not just survival, it's expansion, it's evolution. It's how humans have always advanced and how they always will. The new era isn't about keeping up. It's about staying ahead by continuously becoming more. Adaptation is your superpower in the age of robotics, automation, and endless innovation. It's the choice to grow instead of hide, to evolve instead of resist, to move forward even when the ground beneath you is shifting. And in this revolution, that choice will define everything. Robots amplify human potential. They don't replace it. That's the truth that most people overlook when they hear the word automation or artificial intelligence. They think it's about machines taking over, but what's really happening is a magnification of what humans are already capable of. The purpose of robotics is not to make humans obsolete. It's to remove the limitations that hold humans back from their highest potential. When machines handle the repetitive, the predictable, the mechanical, humans are free to focus on what makes us extraordinary: creativity, innovation, vision, and emotion. The robotics revolution is not a war between man and machine. It's a partnership that multiplies human capability beyond anything history has ever seen. Think about what humans have always done when we create technology. The wheel didn't replace human movement, it extended it. The printing press didn't replace human communication, it multiplied it. The airplane didn't replace human travel, it made the impossible possible. Robotics is no different. Every advancement that once seemed like a threat eventually became the very tool that allowed humanity to rise to a new level of power. Robots are the next extension of human imagination, the manifestation of our desire to do more, to reach further, to create faster, and to think on a larger scale. When you understand that, you stop seeing robotics as competition and start seeing it as collaboration. Robots amplify what already exists. If you bring creativity, they will multiply it. If you bring discipline, they will expand it. If you bring chaos, they will magnify that too. Technology is neutral. It's a mirror. It reflects who we are, how we think, and what we value. That's why the robotics revolution is not about machines becoming powerful. It's about humans becoming intentional, because robots are only as good as the humans who guide them. They are the extension of our purpose, our intelligence, and our vision. Without human direction, even the most advanced technology is just metal and code. But with purpose, robotics becomes the force that transforms industries, heals lives, and redefines what's possible. When people fear robots, What they're really afraid of is change. They're afraid of losing their place in the world. But you can't lose your place in a world that you're helping to build. The real question is not whether robots will replace humans, but how humans will use robots to become more. The potential here is limitless. Imagine a world where no one is trapped by routine, where humans no longer waste energy on what drains them. Imagine surgeons using robotic precision to perform operations that save lives with accuracy no human hand could achieve. Imagine artists using AI to turn imagination into tangible creation in seconds. Imagine scientists solving complex problems faster than ever before because machines can process the data while humans interpret the meaning. That is amplification. That is the power of partnership between humanity and robotics. There's something profound about how technology always pushes humans to grow. When robots take on the tasks that once defined your job, it forces you to ask deeper questions. Who am I beyond what I do? What is my value when the repetitive is automated? The answer is your essence, your ability to create, lead, and feel. Robots can't replicate that. They can't dream. They can't desire. They can't aspire. They can simulate intelligence, but they can't simulate passion. That's why in this revolution, your emotional intelligence, your creativity, your empathy, your ability to connect and inspire, those become your most valuable assets. The more technology rises, the more human traits matter. The idea that robots will replace us comes from a mindset of fear, a mindset that sees life as competition instead of collaboration. But in truth, every major leap in human progress has been born from collaboration. Between ideas, between people, between human effort and technological innovation. Robots are here to elevate human potential, to expand what we can do, and to accelerate how fast we can do it. The ones who understand this are already ahead. They're not afraid of robots taking jobs because they've learned to create value where machines can't in leadership, creativity, and vision. They see robots not as workers, but as partners that can help them scale impact and create more freedom. Freedom is the real gift of robotics. When machines handle what once consumed hours, days, and months of human effort, time becomes your most valuable currency. That time can now be spent learning, creating, connecting, building deeper relationships, exploring new ideas. The energy that once went into surviving can now go into thriving. That is how robots amplify human potential, but giving us back the one resource that can never be replaced at time. And when time and energy are freed, imagination awakens, innovation accelerates, humanity evolves. The amplification doesn't just happen in industries, it happens in individuals. You can already see it in daily life. Smart devices predict your needs, simplify your routines, and help you focus on what truly matters. AI tools help people communicate across languages, learn faster, and access knowledge that once required years of study. Robotics is not removing humanity, it's enhancing it. It's giving ordinary people access to extraordinary capabilities. What once required a team of specialists can now be done by one person with the right tools. That means empowerment, accessibility, and possibility for everyone willing to learn how to use them. But to experience this amplification, you have to shift your identity. You can't cling to the belief that your value comes from doing what a machine can do better. You have to step into your power as a creator, a leader, an innovator. That means focusing on the things that make you irreplaceable. Your ability to think differently, to feel deeply, to connect meaningfully. Robots can assist, but they cannot originate emotion. They cannot care about a mission. They cannot love an idea into existence. They cannot inspire another human being. That's where your power lies. When you combine that human spark with robotic precision, the results are exponential. In every industry that robotics touches, the people who thrive are the ones who learn to amplify themselves through the technology. The artist who uses AI to create faster without losing emotion. The teacher who uses robotics to make learning more interactive and engaging. The engineer who uses automation to design smarter cities and cleaner energy systems. The doctor who uses robotic assistance to heal with more precision and less risk. This is not replacement, it's evolution. The machine extends the human hand, but the vision still belongs to the human mind. The more robotics advances, the more it reveals what humans are truly meant to do. To imagine, to innovate, to inspire. It strips away the mechanical layers of life and leaves behind the essence of what makes us alive, our consciousness, our creativity, our connection to one another. The robotics revolution doesn't take away humanity, it refines it. It challenges us to operate at a higher frequency, to elevate our thinking, to step into mastery rather than mediocrity. It asks us to stop seeing ourselves as limited by the physical and start realizing that through collaboration with technology, we can touch the infinite. That's the heart of it. Robots amplify what's within us. They don't replace our worth, they reflect it. If you bring fear, they'll magnify fear. If you bring purpose, they'll multiply purpose. The revolution is not about building smarter machines. It's about building stronger humans. It's about aligning technology with intention, using it not to escape humanity, but to expand it. The robotics revolution is not humanity's replacement, it's humanity's rebirth. A reminder that our greatest power is not in what we can do alone, but in what we can create together with the tools we've imagined into existence. Mastering technology means mastering your future. The moment you understand that technology is not something outside of you, but an extension of your potential, your entire perspective changes. Most people treat technology like something foreign, something complicated, something to be feared or tolerated. They see it as a challenge rather than a channel. But the truth is, technology is power. And like all power, it belongs to those who learn how to master it. The future will not be shaped by those who simply use technology. It will be shaped by those who understand it, command it, and leverage it to build something extraordinary. We are living in a time where technology is evolving faster than any human generation has ever experienced. Every day, new systems emerge, new breakthroughs appear, new tools are introduced that redefine the way we live, think, and work. And yet, while most people are overwhelmed by the pace of change, a small number are thriving in it. They are the ones who don't run from it. They learn it, they adapt to it, they harness it. They don't see it as a threat, but as an opportunity to expand their influence and their impact. The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle is not access, it's awareness. It's not intelligence, it's initiative. The people who succeed in the new era are the ones who take responsibility for learning the tools that will shape tomorrow. Technology is not here to make you smaller, it's here to make you stronger. But strength comes through mastery. If you don't master the tool masters you. Look around, people spend hours scrolling, reacting, consuming, but very few are creating, leading, and innovating. Most are slaves to technology instead of students of it. Mastery means taking control. It means deciding that you won't just use what's convenient. You'll understand how it works. You'll use it intentionally, strategically, powerfully. Because when you master the tool, you control your destiny. When you don't, your destiny is controlled by those who do. The truth is, technology is no longer optional. It's the language of the future, and fluency in that language determines your level of freedom. Whether it's robotics, artificial intelligence, automation, or digital communication, every part of our lives is intertwined with technology. But instead of feeling threatened by that, you can use it to your advantage. When you learn how to use these tools with confidence, you become limitless. You can reach people across continents, build businesses from your laptop, educate yourself in any field, and create solutions that once required entire industries. That is what mastery looks like, using technology not to escape reality, but to expand it. Mastery is not about knowing every detail. It's about understanding the essence. You don't need to be a coder to master the digital world. You need to know how to think like a creator, how to use tools strategically, how to ask the right questions, and how to adapt quickly. The ones who will lead the next generation are not necessarily the engineers. They're the visionaries who know how to direct technology toward purpose. They understand that machines don't create meaning. Humans do. Technology is simply the amplifier of intention. Mastery begins with purpose. Without purpose, even the most advanced tools become distractions. With purpose, even simple tools become weapons of transformation. The problem is that most people underestimate their ability to learn. They say things like, "I'm not good with technology," or "that's too complicated for me." Those are not truths, they're excuses. No one is born knowing how to use a smartphone, a computer, or a robot. Everyone learns. The difference is that some choose to learn and some choose to resist. Mastery is a decision, not a gift. It's built through curiosity, through consistent action, through the willingness to fail and figure it out anyway. The person who embraces learning in the age of technology will always have the advantage, because the more you learn, the more confident you become, and confidence is power in motion. Mastering technology also means mastering your mindset. You can't approach this revolution with fear and expect to thrive in it. You have to replace fear with fascination. You have to approach every new tool, every new update, every new idea with the question, how can this help me grow? Because if you look for ways technology can serve you, you'll always find them. But if you look for ways it can hurt you, you'll find those too. Technology responds to the mind that wields it. A disempowered mind uses it to numb, distract, and consume. An empowered mind uses it to build, innovate, and inspire. The tool is the same. The mindset is what changes the outcome. The people who master technology don't just react to the future, they create it. They see trends before others do. They see patterns and possibilities. They don't wait for permission to act. They experiment, they innovate, they push boundaries. That's how every major breakthrough happens. It's not luck. It's preparation meeting opportunity. And in this era Opportunity is everywhere, but only for those who are ready to seize it. The future doesn't belong to the ones who watch, it belongs to the ones who build. Mastering technology gives you leverage. It allows you to do in one day what once took weeks. It allows you to reach thousands with one message, to automate what once drained your energy, to create systems that work for you instead of you working for them. Leverage is freedom. It's the ability to multiply your impact without multiplying your effort. And the beauty of this new era is that this leverage is accessible to everyone, not just corporations or experts, but anyone who's willing to learn. The internet, robotics, and AI have leveled the playing field. What separates the winners from the watchers is mastery. When you understand how to use technology to elevate your mission, you stop being intimidated by it. You start seeing how it can help you become more effective in everything you do, in business, in education, in art, in leadership. You stop asking, what if this replaces me? And start asking, what can I create with this? That shift in perspective is what mastery is all about. It's the difference between being reactive and being creative. It's the difference between being controlled by the world and being the one who designs it. Mastering technology also means mastering adaptability. Technology changes fast, and if you expect stability, you'll constantly feel behind. The goal isn't to know everything, it's to know how to learn anything. It's to be flexible enough to evolve with the tools, not cling to the old ones. That's why the most successful people today are lifelong learners. They don't wait until they're comfortable to start. They dive in, they experiment, they grow with the technology instead of trying to catch up later. Every update, every innovation, every disruption is a new opportunity to level up your understanding and expand your influence. The world rewards mastery because mastery creates certainty in uncertain times. When others panic, the person who understands the system stays calm. When others lose direction, the person with mastery becomes a guide. And in this age of automation and robotics, people are looking for guides, those who can connect the human element with the technical world. If you can do that, you don't just secure your future, you shape it. You become the bridge between where we are and where we're going. Technology is not something to fear, it's something to fuse with your vision. It's a partner in your purpose. But it demands responsibility, focus, and intention. Mastering technology means committing to understanding it deeply enough to make it serve you, not distract you, not consume you, not control you. It means standing at the intersection of humanity and innovation and saying, I choose to lead, because the future will belong to those who make that choice, not someday, but right now. Mastering technology is mastering evolution, mastering growth, mastering the infinite potential that lives within you when you decide to use every tool, every system, every piece of innovation to create rather than conform. The fusion of human creativity and robotics will redefine possibility. There has never been a time in human history where imagination and innovation have had such an incredible partnership. For centuries, creativity was limited by what the hands could build, by what time could allow, by what human endurance could sustain. But now we've entered an age where robotics removes those limits. The artist, the engineer, the dreamer, the creator, they all have access to tools that can turn an idea into reality faster, more accurately, and more powerfully than ever before. Robotics doesn't suppress creativity, it liberates it. It gives humanity a new canvas, a limitless one where thought becomes action and imagination becomes creation in ways that were once only dreams. When creativity meets robotics, something extraordinary happens. It's not about machines replacing human ideas, it's about machines becoming the extension of human imagination. A sculptor can dream of shapes that defy physical limits, and robotics makes it possible. An architect can design cities that are alive, responsive, sustainable, and intelligent because robotics can build with precision beyond the human hand. A musician can collaborate with AI to compose harmonies that merge human emotion with mathematical perfection. A doctor can use robotics to perform surgery so intricate that human precision alone could never achieve them. That's not competition, that's evolution. It's humanity expanding its reach by joining forces with the technology it created. Every major revolution in history has expanded what humans could do, but this one is different because it expands what humans can imagine. When humans and robots work together, the boundaries between thought and creation begin to dissolve. We move from asking, is this possible? To how fast can we make it real? Robotics becomes the ultimate amplifier of imagination. It turns creative vision into tangible reality without the delays, limitations, or exhaustion that once stood in the way. It's like giving humanity an extra set of hands, an extra brain, an extra heartbeat, all focused on bringing ideas to life. What makes this fusion so powerful is that robots are not creative on their own. They don't dream. They don't feel the fire of inspiration or the spark of intuition. That power still belongs entirely to humans. What robotics brings is precision, consistency, and limitless execution. So when human imagination directs robotic intelligence, the result is a kind of co-creation that has never existed before. It's like lightning meeting the ocean, explosive energy meeting infinite potential. The moment they connect, the world changes shape. People often ask, will robots ever be creative? But that question misses the point. The power of creativity isn't just in producing something new, it's in the why behind creation. Creativity comes from emotion, from story, from purpose. It's the human desire to make something that matters, to express something meaningful. Robots can assist in the process, but the heart behind it always comes from the human spirit. That's why this new fusion isn't the death of creativity. It's the evolution of it. It's creativity multiplied by intelligence, speed, and precision. It's the transformation of vision into results at a pace that humanity has never seen before. Imagine an inventor in the past. They had to spend years experimenting, testing, building by hand, often limited by materials and time. Now, with robotics and AI, ideas can be prototyped, tested, and perfected in days. That acceleration doesn't take away the creative process, it frees it. It allows inventors to explore more ideas, to dream bigger, to iterate faster. Creativity becomes exponential. The only limit now is not the machine, not the process, but the imagination of the person behind it. This fusion of creativity and robotics isn't just about art or invention, it's about redefining human potential. It's about rewriting the limits of what one person can do. A single individual with access to robotics can achieve what once required entire teams, factories, or organizations. It's about empowerment. It's about democratizing creation. No longer is innovation reserved for the few with massive resources. Now it belongs to anyone who can think, imagine, and learn how to collaborate with machines. That's the revolution quietly unfolding before us. The old model said creativity belonged to artists and technology belonged to engineers. But the new world merges those identities. The artist becomes the technologist. The scientist becomes the storyteller. The engineer becomes the dreamer. Robotics allows for that fusion, breaking down the walls that once separated logic from emotion, structure from imagination. When these worlds collide, creation takes on a new dimension, one where logic gives wings to art and art gives soul to logic. That's the future. We're building a world where every human has the tools to bring their ideas to life without limits. This is not a distant dream. It's already happening. We see robotic arms painting intricate murals guided by human motion sensors. We see AI composing symphonies inspired by the emotions in human faces. We see 3D printers constructing homes, sculptures, prosthetics, and even biological organs. And behind every one of those technologies is a human creator directing it, shaping it, breathing life into it through vision and purpose. That's what the fusion really means. Technology serving human imagination at a level that was once impossible. And yet this fusion demands something from us, responsibility. Because when creativity gains this much power, it becomes more important than ever to align it with purpose. The question shifts from what can we build to what should we build? The power to create on this scale means the choices we make matter more than ever. The tools are neutral, the intention defines the impact. This is why creativity must be guided by ethics, by empathy, by the understanding that technology should serve humanity, not the other way around. The fusion is only beautiful when it's fueled by values as much as by vision. What makes this era so exciting is that creativity no longer stops at imagination. It continues into manifestation. In the past, there was always a gap between dreaming and doing. Now, robotics closes that gap. You can visualize something in your mind and see it built before your eyes. You can design in the morning and hold the result by night. The speed of creation transforms not just industries, but identities. People who once doubted their ability to create now discover that with robotics, their imagination is enough. They realize they are not limited by skill, but by vision, and once that shifts, a new kind of human potential emerges, one that's limitless. This fusion also redefines collaboration. It's no longer human versus machine, it's human and machine working in perfect harmony. It's a partnership built on strengths. Robots bring endurance, precision, and speed. Humans bring intuition, curiosity, and heart. Together, they create balance. Together, they create brilliance. The combination is not about control, but cooperation. It's about trust, trusting the machine to execute and trusting yourself to lead. It's a dance between creativity and technology, and when both move in rhythm, the result is creation on a level that transcends imagination. The fusion of human creativity and robotics is not the end of art, design, or innovation. It's their evolution. It's humanity awakening to its greatest realization yet, that our imagination was never meant to have limits, that our creations were never meant to be confined by physical or mental constraints. Robotics simply unlocks what's already inside us. It's the bridge between thought and reality, between dream and execution, between potential and manifestation. And when that bridge is crossed, when creativity and robotics unite with purpose, the definition of what's possible dissolves completely,